Hi, I'm Josie from Funky Needlework, and today I want to show you one of our fantastic rulers. This one is the Fine Folded Swirl Fan ruler. Bit of a mouthful, but I have to say it needs the title because it does all these fantastic things, and I'm going to show you how to use it. This came up about 2 years ago, popped into my head, and then it's been taking me that long to get it right and perfect it, so I hope you really enjoy this. So this ruler took us a couple of years to develop. We wanted to get it absolutely right because it's one of those things that if you don't get your pleats in the right place, your quilt doesn't lie flat and it causes you all kinds of anxiety. So you can use the fan to make quilts, bags, whatever you want to do. And I'm essentially going to show you how to construct the fan, and then you can put it together however you like. So we like to save perspex. We don't like to waste things. So we've got it in this piece here. Rather than a great big long massive ruler, we've got it like this so that you can fold the fabric and cut up in one go. So I've got some pieces here. Here's some I cut earlier. So if you were cutting this and you wanted to trim it, essentially it doesn't really matter how you fold it. You don't have to fold it like a fan because you're going to go through a few layers all at once. Fold it up, and fold it up until it's all covered by the ruler. Rotary cutter, trim up one side, turn it round, and make sure that the other side is straight as well. This one's a little bit wobbly. And then you've got your strip that you're going to start on. So you'll see that it's got an outer edge and an inner edge, very clearly labelled on here. So you're going to put them on, and you put, to start with, the first piece that you do, you put the edge of the ruler next to the edge of the fabric using a propelling pencil. This is my favourite kind of pencil marking. It's a traditional thing to mark with a pencil. I don't use anything else. And we're just going to mark all of the slots on the ruler. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the little holes because I've tried doing it. You could do it a different way. If you wanted to, you could put holes and dots along as you're going along. And you'll see that there are 4 slots. 4 holes, I mean, not slots. 4 holes. Like that. Take the ruler off, and then you're going to join the dots. Really straightforward like that, so that you have a straight and a wonky and a straight and a wonky all the way along. Because you've got 4 dots there, it's really easy to see them. It's very straightforward. If you've missed 1 dot, the other 3 will do. Okay, see how you do that? So then we start and have a background piece and we need to fold. I've got one here I've already started. It is on a slightly different colour. Okay, so I've just got a piece of cotton in the background. You can use anything for this. And the beauty of this is it doesn't matter what this background fabric is. So if you've got a bit of fabric that you are not particularly fond of anymore, or that's been a present, or, you know, one of those things that you're buying and you think, oh, maybe not. So what you're going to do is you're going to gradually fold this and stitch it. So I am now going to, so if I take these pins out, I'll show you what I've done so far. So you're going to stitch along the 2-piece line and then fold where the dots are, the wonky line, okay? And then you pin it down again on either side, and I'm going to stitch down this line, and you'll gradually see this growing as you go. Now when you fold it from this end of the ruler, oops, that's the one, and fold it in this direction, you get a lovely fan. If you fold it from the other side, you get a swirl, which is why it's called the Fan Swirl ruler. There's the pedal. So I'm just going to stitch straight down here. I'm not using any kind of fancy stitch for this. I need to use a straight stitch. If you're going through very thick fabric, you'll want to lengthen your stitch. If it's just cotton, then an ordinary sort of whatever comes on your machine when you turn it on, a 2.2 probably would be fine. There we go. I'm not going backwards and forwards at the end. That's great, okay. So I now have a fold, and I'm going to do the next one, and I'm going to bring that one over, pin it again and stitch on the next line. I stitch either side. Now I've tried doing this without the pins, it doesn't work, it moves. You have to use the pins, I'm afraid. Well, I do, and if you can't, if you don't use the pins, then let me know, because I think I need some lessons from you, because that would be a marvellous achievement. Right, pedal. Okay, so I'll do another one so that you get the full gist of how this works. Oh, the thread's caught. And then I'll show you some of the exciting things that you can do with the fan when it's complete. Okay, so I'll take that out. And you just keep going around in a circle like that. You don't need very many pins, you just need 2. So this is what you end up with, this beautiful fan shape all the way around there. Now you have choices at this stage. You can either leave it as one whole fan, stitch over the edge, or if you stitch on top of it, you can then go and cut in between, which is what I'm going to do for this one. I'll just trim that little piece off. That's great, I'll save that and add on to a different one. I should have said earlier on, actually, if you want a great big all the way around one, you can join the pieces up, they'll join on all the way around. So this one here, I'm just going to cut with scissors, actually. I'm not going to use anything fancy other than scissors. It's a nice strong pair of scissors. I've stitched either side. If you only stitch one side, it'll all come undone when you're doing it, and this will secure it nicely. If you're a fan of rotary cutters, I quite like a rotary cutter, which is nothing to do with my finger bandage. You can go all the way around like that. Okay. Whoop. And a little bit more. Now when you've done, oh, I'll have to go back to the scissors. When you're doing this, you'll need to trim off the excess around the outside as well, because it leaves you with all of this lovely extra here. But again, you can use your applique scissors for that. I quite like this shape. That's great. And you can join this up with something else. So, if you're an applique fan, can you imagine how much fun you'd have with joining all of these wonderful shapes? I can see seashells in this. I can see all kinds of other shells. I'm just going to show you the other method. So the other end. So if you start folding from the other end, this is the swirl it creates in the middle. Now you've got it as far as this, if you want to stop, or you can change direction even and add on a different colour. So the piece I've just cut off from the other side, you can add on from the other side and start swirling in it in the other direction. To finish this off at the edges, I would secure it first, if I'm really honest. I'll stitch around with a straight stitch. And after that, if I've got one here on the side, yes I have. Okay, so I've got some other examples here. These are put in strips and then joining strips together to make a whole big long quilt. Can you see how there you've got a couple of, you could put 2 together. I tend to find though, if you've got big thick layers there, I've trimmed them off and I'm going to put a strip in the middle of those. So that's one effect. I also want to show you one last thing, and this is the fact that the ruler has got a line halfway across it. So if I go back to the product, it's got a line across it, so you can do short pieces or you can join 2 pieces together to get a strip like this. And the same thing works, so that you can have squiggly fans going across one piece. So if you wanted to do, whoops, where are we? So this piece needs sewing. I'll sew this piece now, and then I'll show you that it works with the shorter ones as well. And you get wiggly fans. I can see this as streamers onto kites or festivals or banners, Any of those things, really. Oop. So I'm going to pin this next piece over, pin it over. So that's a single piece. This piece here, you could, I could imagine if you did this with Japanese fabric, works with batik as well, but with Japanese fabric, this is 2 strips together and you get the outer fan and you also get a little inner fan as well. So if I stitched, folded there, this is my fold line, and you pull it right across against this stitch, pin it down, I'll steal that pin. And then we're stitching again at this side. I really hope you enjoy making these fans. I can see them as also actually a 1920s handbag or a 1920s kind of deco-y thing. Is it deco 20s? Somebody let me know. So much scope for this. Lots and lots of fun with one fan. That's it. Cut your spaghetti off as you go, and there you have it. So this is the Fine Folded Fan Swirl Ruler from Funky Needlework. Thanks for watching me.